Finally, it has been 271 days, Brian Peterson, before I could tell you it's a game week. It is finally here. 271 long days of doing nothing but talking have finally passed us by. But we have one more evening to talk about something because obviously a game Thursday night. We'll get you caught up on that. I am Adam Eaton, Trace Trucco on assignment tonight, but luckily our good friend Brian W. Peterson, who I have not seen in a while. He's been in a cave. He's been 271 days ago. I talked to Brian Peterson. I feel like I haven't seen Brian since, but he is here tonight to help us out here, Brian. So how are you feeling, buddy? 24 hours out. You did not get the first frost memo, apparently, because I thought we were doing first frost.
That's tomorrow.
I don't look good in white, and so I did this for everybody out there, so I appreciate that. But how are you feeling, Brian? 24 hours out now from a game. It's been a long off season. How are you feeling going into this one?
I am good. I mean, let me tell you, man, this is First Frost 2.0. I'm ready. Let's go. I'll be there. I'll be in the crowd in the stadium early. I'm gonna go get one of those Publix hats. I think that they're giving out. If you guys saw that, they're giving out Publix hats for those going to be in attendance. I'm ready, rain or not.
Always love when your accountant gets free stuff. But if you've been under a rock, everybody, the game tomorrow night, the 28th, 7 p.m., Jacksonville State. It's on ESPN Plus for those of you not in the stadium. Obviously, it'll be in the stadium for those of you in the stadium. The new Acrisure Bounce House, Brian, which has a lovely tarp logo on the outside, which
I saw that.
Getting changed soon because that's just Cow of the Week material written all over it, Brian. But the biggest story of the week, we finally know who the QB is for this game. At least Cam Fancher, the FAU transfer, previously at Marshall, announced as QB1. I think a lot of folks had seen it kind of trending that way. I don't think we had it in December when Cam Fancher decided to come to UCF, but he's QB1 now. Brian, your thoughts on the Cam Fancher era for however long it may last, starting off here at UCF?
Well, our starting quarterback, I guess they were the social media team for UCF football was very specific in saying he's the starting quarterback. I think you hit the nail on the head there. Nobody was expecting this a few months ago, right? We kind of both expected that it was going to be either Taven Jackson or Ja'Curry Brown, the two bigger names that had come in, and perhaps they had brought Cam Fancher in as perhaps a depth piece, just to keep the quarterback room full. And there were inklings as practices went on in the offseason, and especially the last couple, 2 weeks now, maybe 3 weeks back, we were starting to hear rumors that Cam was performing pretty well in practices and that there was a good chance that he was going to be the starter, seeing as they were, divvying up the first team reps between all three quarterbacks, and it seemed like Cam was getting the majority of the first team reps. So can't say that I'm surprised in that Scott Frost and his return to the bounce house is going to go with the more experienced quarterback. Cam does have the experience over the other two guys. He's obviously played at both Marshall and FAU. So from an experience standpoint, if you want somebody out there that kind of knows how to run an offense, I don't know how well he's going to run Frost's offense, but he's the guy that's got the most experience. Throw him out there for game one and see what he does.
Brian, I don't know if you've seen this, but our head coach, Scott Frost, has a tendency to go viral on social media at times. And he had a bit of a clip this week when he talked about he liked being at UCF because he didn't have to play the guys who they were kind of paying a heavy NIL to, right? And didn't have people in his ear and on his back were his quotes about who to play. And I think this decision is a really good microcosm of that example, because I think we all got accustomed to thinking, okay, the guy you bring in off the portal, who we all presume is making a certain amount of money NIL-wise. Again, we never really know the figures, but we all hear the rumors, right? The presumption is the guy who comes in, who's making the most, is going to get the starting job. We kind of seen that the last couple of seasons at UCF. That's kind of how things went. But this is an interesting twist where Scott Frost is essentially saying, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to play the person who I think is best for my team at this moment in this situation. Now, I do think it's important to point out that situation can change, right? Maybe next week the situation is different and another quarterback makes better sense. But I do think it's a stark change from what we were used to under the previous regime, where you knew the guy who came in, who got a big check or a big bag, as we expected, was the guy you trotted out. And Scott Frost is definitely taking the different route there. And I think it's interesting, Brian. We'll see how it plays out. But here's the thing I would also say. You can't do that unless you've got a team of guys who are connected and together. if you have a team of guys who are jealous and who are sniping at each other and who are, just looking at people's pockets all the time, you can't do a move like this. This tells me that Scott Frost has a lot of confidence in the leadership on his team and Cam Fancher specifically, but in the seniors and the upperclassmen to lead this team, even though they're maybe not playing the quote unquote marquee guy. I think that's a welcome change for UCF. Now, Cam Fancher has to live up to that, right? He has to do his part, but I do think it's a welcome change.
I can't recall if it was Mackenzie Milton or if it was Scott Frost or one of the other offensive coaches, but they kind of alluded to the fact that, look, we're going to go with the guy that the team is, feeling comfortable with, that they believe is the starter when it comes to quarterback. So to your point, I mean, that's something that's pretty refreshing as a UCF fan. We haven't heard that type of attitude when it comes to picking the starters, whether on offense or defense, in a long time. Who is the guy that's, going to lead the team, that's going to have the support of the team, and not just the guy that's coming here. He's the big name, the splash, the NIL check, all of those other things you alluded to. So it's refreshing to hear.
Let's hear from somebody, Brian, who's been covering the Knights all camp long, who's got some perspective on it. Andrew Cherico has been covering it every practice, every availability, and he gives us some thoughts on the announcement of Cam Fancher as QB1.
The long-lasting quarterback battle has officially come to an end after head coach Scott Frost revealed to media on Monday that Cam Fancher will be the starting quarterback against Jacksonville State in the season opener.
Yeah, we're going to start Cam Fancher. All three kids, I don't want to say much more than that. All three kids did an unbelievable job. Cam's going to run out there, and it's his job to begin the game, begin the season, and we'll go from there.
Coach Frost still stands firm in his confidence with Taven Jackson and Jakari Brown while he looks for Fancher to have a clean first game. We'll see how he performs under the bright lights of the bounce house. And until next time, I'm Andrew Cherico for the Sons of UCF.
Andrew Cherico, if you're not following him, by the way, on social media, find him on Knights 247 right now. He's doing a fantastic job. Brian, we talk a lot about quarterback. What are some other areas of this team that you are interested to kind of see how they're coming together, how they produce on Thursday night?
I think the number one you got to go is going to be the O-line, right? You can have a quarterback that's, the most talented quarterback out there. But if they don't have an offensive line to protect them, then that quarterback's going to be under duress all day long. So I'm going to see how the O-line gels. We brought in a few guys from the transfer portal this year. We added some depth to O-line, which we needed. So I'm really curious to see how they play. And then I'm also going to have to take a look at the wide receivers, right? I mean, that's the big question mark on offense so far, is we have a bunch of young guys who are unproven, supposedly very talented guys, but we have not seen what they can do yet. So I'm going to be keeping my eyes on the O-line and also on the wide receivers.
Well, there's 24 hours left until the game, but the good news is that's enough time for you to digest all the content on the Sons UCF YouTube channel. We've been covering fall camp here from start to finish with reports, recaps, player interviews. So still plenty of time to head over to our YouTube channel and watch and learn everything in the next 24 hours, Brian. But now it's time for us to learn something, because we get to bring in one of my favorite people in the whole wide world, somebody to make us smarter about football. He's a legendary coach at UCF. He's out there at every practice, just watching, just supporting and cheering on his Knights. He is Paul Lounsbury, back for another season with his coach. First off, can't thank you enough for always doing this for us and being here for us, and really love to hear your expertise on football.
Well, I don't know how much expertise I have, but it's fun being with you guys, and it's fun being out there with the team too. I'm really excited about this season.
Well, let's start off at a really big picture. Obviously, you're at a lot of practices. We've talked a lot about kind of the culture and the vibe of this team. How have you seen that change with Scott Frost and this new staff coming in?
I really like the positiveness that he and his staff have brought. The kids are having fun. I say kids, the players are having fun, and they're excited about it too. They believe in what's going on, and they're together. I don't think we were as together as we needed to be last year, and I think we are right now.
How would you describe Coach Frost? I mean, you were here when obviously when 2016, 17, he was here. You were around a little bit. Have you seen a change in terms of what you remember about him from the first stint to where he is now? And what kind of changes have you seen?
I think he's grown a lot as a coach. I think he's very even-keeled. He has the respect of the players. he has a great offense, and he and Steve Cooper and all the other offensive coaches have done a great job with that offense. But I think the overall attitude is just more positive, and the players believe in each other, I think, and the coaching staff. So I see nothing but positives at this point, and you got to give Coach Frost a lot of credit. He brought in some great coaches too, Coach Clark in the offensive line, and Coach Grinch on defense, and a bunch of other guys, Coach Cooper. All of them have done a great job, and I'm just excited to see how this translates into wins. I don't know how that's going to be yet, but I have a lot of confidence in that coaching staff, and especially Coach Frost.
Coach, you mentioned bringing in Coach Grinch on the defense. Have you gotten to interact with him very much? What have you seen out of the defense? What do you like what you've seen so far during practices?
I like the intensity that Coach Grinch brings. I like the fact that he's been around. This is the first time he hasn't been with a run and shoot offense. So in the other places he's been, some of those stats are a little skewed, I think, because he was working as a defensive coordinator with a run and shoot offense. So now he's got a real offense, a real football coach as a head coach, and I think it's going to be great. I think they're very fast on defense. They've done a great job of building up the defensive line and linebackers, and I think the secondary is really good too, although there's a lot of new faces there too. But so there's a lot of things we don't know, but from what I've seen at practice, it's very positive. Talent is there, and I think they're going to play well. I really do. I'm excited about it.
You mentioned a bunch of new faces that we've seen on the team, and that's both obviously on defense and on offense.
Yep.
Being at all the practices and seeing what you've seen so far, would you say that you feel more confident in the offense or the defense and how they perform their practices and what we should expect to see on Thursday night?
I feel equally confident in both. At times we've run the ball well in practice, and at times the defense has stepped up and stopped the run, which is number one. And I see the same thing in the passing game. At times we've been able to hit some big plays, and other times the defense has made the big plays. So it's hard to know sometimes when you're out there at practice and you're going against yourselves all the time. It's really hard to know, but I've seen positives from both offense and defense that make me think we got a good team.
Coach, I don't know if you've heard, but there was a bit of a QB competition. I don't know if that got to you or not, but so for those of us who are kind of, again, you've been around more football than Brian and I can ever imagine. What does a QB competition mean? What does that physically look like on field? Are guys splitting reps? Are they getting the equal amount of time with the ones? Can you kind of explain what a competition really looks like? I think we know what it means, but the rest of us haven't been there. You have. What does a competition really look like?
Well, up until about a week and a half ago, all the quarterbacks were rotating with all the first, second, and third offenses, mostly first and second, of course, but they were rotating equally. And the last scrimmage we had in the stadium, I think Cam Fancher stepped ahead a little bit, kind of stepped in front of the other guys, and he's maintained that throughout the last week and a half, and I think that's why he's the starter. But let me tell you, that competition is still very real and very intense, and we'll see if Cam can keep the job. It's going to be a lot of fun. The thing I like about Coach Frost is that he wants that competition at every position, and really that's what I think makes everybody better. So, and the players, I think, appreciate that too. So it's going to be interesting. They rotated. Now the last week and a half, Cam's gotten the reps with the ones, and Jacurri and Tavon have split with the twos. So, but it's not over. They're still pressing him, and they're waiting in the wings for a chance to get out there and show what they can do too.
Well, you've been coaching for a long time. You've been scouting for a long time. Give us a scouting report on Cam Fancher. What does he do really well? What do you like about his game?
Well, first of all, he throws very well. All three of them throw very well, but he probably makes, or at least in the last week and a half or 2 weeks, he's probably made fewer mistakes that could cost you games than the other two have. And you really don't know for sure until you play somebody else and the lights are on and because when the bullets start flying in live games, it can be a different atmosphere. So we'll see. But Cam has that experience. He's started both places at Marshall and FAU, and I think that's helped him too. He's a very calm guy. He's very fast running, although you're not going to see runs designed for him specifically, I don't think that much. But when the pocket breaks down, he can make things happen. And all three of them run very well, and all three of them throw well. So the competition's still very keen, but I think Cam has probably stepped ahead by just making fewer game-losing plays. Let me put it that way. Sometimes you can throw the ball out of bounds, and that's a good play. Sometimes you can take a sack, and that's a good play. And it seems to me like Cam's made those decisions very well in the last couple of weeks. So, and I think the other two are learning from that too. So it's going to be interesting, and I think it's improved. That competition has improved our quarterback play on all three.
Coach, in his presser on Monday, Coach Frost mentioned that we would very likely see multiple quarterbacks get playing time, and that they might have packages lined up for the other quarterbacks to get in there. Should we as fans be expecting to see more than one quarterback? Assuming the game goes well enough that we're going to, perhaps switch some guys out. Would you expect to see some other quarterbacks play on Thursday, tomorrow?
I don't know. It really kind of goes. It depends on how the game goes. I think if Cam is doing really well, he's going to be in there until they want to take a look at something else. But I do think they have packages for all three, and if the opportunity comes up, if the situation is right, they may put a different quarterback in to take advantage of those individual skills that they have the package for. But it really it's hard to know because you just have to wait and see how the game flow goes. And that's the way it should be.
Let's stick with the offense for a minute here. Tell me what you've seen out of the wide receivers. That's a pretty unproven group there. Fairly young group. Anything stand out in practice? Should we be expecting to see some impressive plays from some of these younger guys?
I do think you're going to see some impressive plays. There have been a whole bunch of them playing a lot with the ones. They rotate a lot. DJ Black has made some big plays. Burks, the kid from Florida, has made some big plays. Speedy, number 7, the Dwayne Thomas. Mm-hmm. They call him Speedy for a reason. And all of those guys can really run, but there's a couple of freshmen and younger guys that are really making plays too. So I think you could see as many as 8 receivers in the game. I think they've got some guys that can play. So we'll find out who makes the plays. And again, when the bullets start flying, you find out a lot about those guys that are untested. And I think as the game progresses, I think the coaches will see that too, and they'll take a look at some guys, but they're gonna see who's playing well, and those are gonna be the guys that get the ball to them.
Coach, in a big important game like this, we want to talk about long passes, sacks, interceptions. I want to talk kicking game because we don't know much about the special teams unit. It's an entirely new unit from last year. Heck, it's an entirely new unit from the spring at this point, right? So what have you been able to see from the kicking game? Obviously, a new place kicker and Noe Relis, obviously a new punt operation as well. What have you seen from Pete Alomar and the way he's kind of coached up the special teams unit?
Well, Pete's doing a great job. He's very sound in everything he's doing. He's got seniors in all the positions backed up by freshmen. So you'll see the upperclassmen to start with, I think. But I think that's going to be very good. And it comes down, I think the kickoff is going to be fine. I think punting is going to be good. I think our protections are fine. I think as long as we can make all the field goals inside the 40-yard line 100%, then I'm happy. But and I think we got a guy that might be able to do that. So we'll just see how it goes. Again, it can be different in the game. So I haven't seen enough other than practice, but in practice they've been all impressive.
Coach, 24 hours-ish, or I guess 22 hours now out from kickoff. Take us into the mind of a coach. What are you thinking about right now? What are you worried about? What are you kind of thinking about if you're on this coaching staff with 22 hours to go before the first game?
I think they're all thinking about everything, but I think each coach in his position is focused on his guys and and he's watching all of them and seeing how they're reacting in the hotel tonight. They'll watch them at the pregame meal. They'll watch them in warmups, and they're being evaluated all the time. So, as a coach, as a position coach, I think you do that constantly, and that's a good thing, I think. But the coaches are confident, the players are confident, and that starts at the top with Coach Frost. He's a confident guy, and I think they all trust that they're all experienced coaches, and they all know what they're doing. So I think the confidence is there, and but they're also going to be into the game and into their positions, and they're going to, if there's something not going right, they're going to make a change and get it right, I think.
Coach, we've got some potential weather in the area tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening. Would you think that is to our advantage, with the running back room that we've got that's so good and so stacked? Or would you like to see it be a little more dry so we can see the quarterbacks perhaps air it out and not make mistakes with a wet ball?
Well, when I was coaching, we felt like rain helped the passing game because the receivers know where they're going. You're always going to have a dry ball unless it's just a downpour. So I think if it's wet, it helps our passing game. If it's dry, it helps our running game. So I don't know how that's going to shake out because of so many new faces. But whatever it is, I think our players are ready for it. We practiced a couple of days ago, 3 days ago, in a downpour, and we had plenty of wet ball drill in that one. So fortunately, we didn't have lightning, so we could stay out in that downpour. Unfortunately for me, I got soaked. But I hope the big thing to me that would worry me is more about lightning delays, because you have the players ready to go, and if you have to go in for a lightning delay, then all that can change. Of course, Jacksonville State has to deal with that too. So if that happens, so I'm just excited that I hope that we don't have those lightning delays, though. I'd like to see us get out there because I think our players are ready to go. Today's practice was sharp. I think they're ready to go, and we just need to get out there and play.
Yeah, I'm hoping the weather stays away. Obviously, I'll be there, so I want to be dry, and I don't want to have any of those 2021 Boise vibes where the delays were just out of control.
I don't mind getting wet. I just don't like the delays. And, and I'm sure the fans are the same way. So if I get wet, I'll have a poncho. But if I get wet, I get wet. I'm not worried about that as long as we win.
Yep.
Coach, really quickly, talk about these running backs. Obviously, we know a lot about Miles Montgomery, Jade Nixon, a lot of speed in that running back room. There's a lot of focus on Cam Fancher, but there's an argument to be made that UCF maybe just wants to establish the run and really become a run-first team. Have you seen that so far in practice and what you've seen from this offense?
Well, I've seen a good mix of run and pass, but we're going to run the ball north and south, and we've got the running backs, I think, to do it. We don't have big running backs, but they're quick. They can make cuts, and they're fast. So I like all four of the running backs. Montgomery, of course, is the leader, but Nixon is excellent. Stacey Cage has had a great camp, and the freshman from Miami is doing a great job too. So I wish Swint had not gotten hurt because he was having a great preseason, but we've got four really, really good ones, and I'm anxious to see them in a scrimmage against somebody else, because at times all four of those guys have shown great ability and the ability to find the hole and break a big play. So we'll see, but I think you're going to see a really good mix of run and pass. I don't know that we're going to be necessarily run first, but I think we're going to run the ball, and I think we'll run it north and south a lot. I'll tell you this: Sean Clark, the offensive line coach, has done a fabulous job, and the offensive line is better than we've been. And I think that is going to help our running game a lot. And if we can establish a run like I think we will, I think that will help us a great deal in the passing game.
All right, Coach, you're already wearing a darn good looking hat, but I'm going to ask you to put on your coaching hat for a second. Give me some.
This is it. This is my coaching hat.
I love it, Jen. It's perfect. Give us some keys to this game. What are a couple of things that you want to watch out for that you think UCF has to do to win this game?
First of all, we have to avoid turnovers on offense, and and then we have to avoid the stupid penalties, the pre-snap penalties or something that's, just. And I think we will. I think they've gotten better and better at that. So I think we'll avoid those. But, again, when the bullets start flying and the lights go on against somebody else, sometimes that changes things a little bit. I don't know anything really about Jacksonville State other than they won their conference last year, and I know they're a good football program. They got a new head coach, new coordinator on defense. So it's going to be interesting to see how all that happens. But first of all, we have to avoid the turnovers and the stupid penalties. Defensively, same way. We have to get some turnovers and avoid foolish penalties like jumping off sides and things like that. And we have to tackle well and stop the run. And you'll ask any defensive coordinator in America, the first thing they got to do is stop the run, because if you don't, you're going to lose the game, most likely, most of the time. But I think Coach Grinch is very intense. The defense is fast. I think we're fast on both sides of the ball. So I think that's going to help us a lot in those phases. So avoiding the turnovers, avoiding the foolish plays and the bad plays, the game losing plays, I think that's the key to the game on both sides of the ball.
Well, yeah, that sounds like a recipe for a win, Coach. And a recipe for a good time is always talking to you, Coach Lounsbury. Again, super grateful that you do this all the time for us and you help us out. It's been 271 days since we last spoke. We've got to find a way to connect sooner, Coach. But
well, I hope to see you at the games.
And Brian will be out there tomorrow with a poncho, so you can catch the lighting delay. But you'll see the entire Suns crew out there this year. But again, we really appreciate you, Coach. Hopefully, we'll catch up with you in a couple of weeks, and let's get a W on Thursday. What do you say?
Absolutely, and it's my pleasure to do this show with you guys. I love what you do, and I think it's great for UCF and great for the fans, and it's good for our football team too. I think they like it too.
Awesome, thanks, Coach. We appreciate you.
Thanks, Coach.
Good one.
Thank you.
Coach Lounsbury with us as always. Brian, just such a positive guy. Always makes me smile. Always makes me laugh. Just really positive about UCF, and you love that positivity because we need some positivity, Brian. It's been 207. We need something to make us laugh, and Coach Lounsbury is always one of those people. You know what else we need to do, Brian, is the Big 12 apparently kicked off this weekend in Ireland because, of course, why not?
Did you know that?
Jeff Allen is all over this stuff. Don't get me wrong. And he has the Big 12 minute, which is actually not a minute.
In addition to UCF season opener versus Jacksonville State at the Bounce House, 3 other contests take place Thursday night featuring Big 12 teams. Oklahoma State welcomes UT Martin at 7:30 on ESPN+. Houston hosts Stephen F. Austin at 8 o'clock on ESPN+. And Cincinnati entertains Nebraska at 9 o'clock on ESPN. On Friday night, Kansas hosts Wagner, 7:30 on ESPN+. Colorado gets a visit from Georgia Tech, 8 o'clock on ESPN. And Baylor has a home date with Auburn, 8 o'clock on Fox. Turning to Saturday, West Virginia hosts Robert Morris, 2 o'clock on ESPN+. Number 22, Iowa State welcomes South Dakota, 3:30 on Fox. Number 17, Kansas State entertains North Dakota, 7 o'clock on ESPN+. Number 23, Texas Tech opens at home against Arkansas Pine Bluff, 7:30 on ESPN+. BYU battles Portland State in Provo at 8 o'clock on ESPN+. In Big 12 After Dark contest, number 11, Arizona State hosts Northern Arizona, 10 o'clock on ESPN+. Arizona welcomes Hawaii at 10:30 on TNT, and Utah hits the road to UCLA, 11 o'clock on Fox. The Big 12 schedule concludes on Monday, Labor Day night, as TCU visits the Fightin' Bill Belichick's of North Carolina at 8 o'clock on ESPN. With your Big 12 minutes, I'm Jeff Allen.
I was impressed that Jeff does that without taking a breath. Like, I don't think he breathes for the entire minute and whatever that he does that.
Is there anybody that says ESPN better than Jeff Allen?
I think Jeremy Schaap would like a word, but it's a short list. It's a short list. Who do ESPN well. Speaking of things who people do things well, we had a banner week here at the Sons of UCF. Here's a quick little mashup of anything you might have missed should you not be following us on social media and or YouTube.
I am okay with, and I think this is a win for Frost, that what's happening? What?
I'm just looking at you, talking to me like normal, wearing a full
Locked in.
Yeah, sorry.
I'm gonna get really amped at a point. I'm gonna bash my head against the screen.
I thought this is the start.
Okay.
This is a start for like the chosen one. So I'm gonna throw out the start because I'm gonna be putting up, going to the NFL.
Coach Frost talked about limiting the turnovers, and I think that's what led to that decision.
But Coach Frost didn't say a lot about Cam Fancher, right?
Yeah, no, he said he expressed confidence in all three quarterbacks, and he said that from the beginning of spring to now the end of fall, that he's confident in every quarterback to go out there. We asked more, we tried to pry a little bit, but he was just confident on saying he just wanted to keep it to a minimum. We're talking about Fancher. He didn't want to talk about him too much, which maybe could mean is he still looking at the other quarterbacks as an option later down the road.
Now, you took the two players everybody knows.
Like you didn't. You didn't know you were going to draft, but you had to know those two would go.
Yeah, no, I did. I'm going to take Dwayne Thomas.
Wow.
Wide receiver. Yeah.
I think you're declaring him wide receiver 1.
Well, maybe. I'm also going to take DJ Black. I'm going to corner the wide receiver market. Somebody's got to catch the ball, guys. Somebody's got to catch it.
I've heard. He's not wrong, Brian. Somebody has to catch the football. All right, we're going to do something we haven't done ever before. And I don't know if I can pull this off technically, but we're going to try. You people hear from me and Trace and everybody else all the time. You're probably sick. I'm sick of me at this point, right? You're probably sick of us. So here's what we're going to do. I've got a list of 9 people that we're going to bring in here. We're going to give them about 2 minutes apiece. They're going to give you a record prediction on the season, and then they're going to give you one hot take. And because Brian is an accountant, which I feel like is kind of a judge, but not a judge, Brian.
That's a judge.
Is it a judge? I think it might be. I feel like you're judging people with their finances, which you shouldn't do, by the way. But Brian's going to tell us whether or not he agrees with this individual's hot take. All right. So I already see some people in the chat, so I think we're moving forward here in this one. So we're going to start off with our first guest. You know him as the host of the Space Nights, which you can catch on social media here on Twitter or the X, whatever you call it. There's our good friend Austin Heff. Austin, you just got off of Space Nights, my friend. Thanks for hopping in, buddy. How you doing?
Doing amazing. Look at Brian and look at Adam. You guys look so handsome.
No, Brian has been on that HGA.
We're trying to keep up with you.
Come on.
I got to get that TRT Brian's on. But all right, Austin, here we go. Give me your record prediction for the Knights this season. And we're keeping track of these, by the way. So I'm going to see who the winner is. And whoever wins, I will make Brian come to your house and talk to you. What do you think the record prediction for UCF will be?
If Brian's coming to my house, he's doing my taxes. I heard through the grapevine he's helping some other people in this call tonight that with their taxes. Let's go 6-6.
6-6. All right. Okay. What do you have an upset? Do you think we're chalk games? Do you have any upsets in those 6 wins?
I know West Virginia's in there.
Okay.
I don't know if that's going to be an upset. It's too early to tell what that matchup will look like. I don't have us beating Texas Tech, so don't put me down for that. I don't have us beating Baylor. I think West Virginia is the one to circle. That's the one where I'm like, okay, that will be the difference between 5-7 and 6-6, in my opinion.
Well, I have to call propaganda on this because on a show I was on with you are a self-admitted hater of West Virginia. You declared a beef against yourself and the entire state, I guess, of West Virginia. Maybe this is school. I was unclear on that exactly, but there's a personal vendetta between you and West Virginia. Yes. Yeah,
they cursed out Darius Johnson last year in that basketball contest in Morgantown. Called him the B word. Try not to curse on your platform. We don't want to get demonetized. But yeah,
love it. I love it.
If Day Farmer was playing, I'd say that's definitely a win. But.
Yeah, but he's excited to be a Knight. He was at FanFest. He loves being here. You could see the genuine smile. But yeah, 6-6. West Virginia. Hot take. John Walker's a 3rd round pick.
Ooh.
Wow. Brian W. Peterson. Honorable Brian, honorable in air quotes. Brian Peterson. What do you make of this?
I'm going to go, that's a hot take. I like it. And we're going to go yes on that one, just because I love John Walker and he's going to be a stud this year.
I love it. Again, follow Austin on social media. He's part of the Space Nights crew every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. on the Twitter, the X machine, whatever we call it. Austin, thanks for hopping in, buddy. We'll see you at a game soon, okay?
Yeah, and to the chatter that wants Clay, he is coming in. Oh, spoiler, sorry.
Clay
thank you, Adam. Thank you. I appreciate you guys.
Thanks, Austin.
Letting it Clay. All right, one down. And our next one up is our good friend Patrick Nurse, also a member of the Space Nights crew. Also, I believe the CEO of the Hat Squad, if that's
Hat Squad.
I believe may or may not be
founder.
as founder, he may or may not be the president of the UCF Tour Mafia. So I'm surrounded by two former presidents or current presidents. I don't even know anymore at this point here. So Patrick, give me your record prediction for the Knights this season. What do you have us going?
So I have us at 7-5, and let me go in a little bit of detail on that real quick. So first three, Jack State, NC A&T, and North Carolina, W's. No questions there. Now that's where it gets a little bit dicey. We have losses at K-State and Kansas. But I think the Knights learned something from this, and they rally with wins at Cincinnati on the road and then back home in West Virginia. And then it's kind of helter-skelter mode because Cardiac Knights, and we have a loss at Baylor, win at Houston, loss at Texas Tech, loss at OK State, but we win on the road at BYU to finish the season 7-5 bowl eligibility.
I love that. Is that your hot take, or do you have another hot take?
I mean, that's pretty hot.
It's
a pretty hot take.
Brian Peterson, the Honorable Brian Peterson, accountant at law here. What is your judgment on Patrick's hot take?
I'm, as much as I would love to say yes to that hot take, I'm going to say BYU's probably going to win that game. It's at BYU, so we're going to say cold.
Okay, cold on that one. What is not cold is Patrick Nurse. Follow him on social media. Again, he's part of the social media crew that does the Space Nights. You can find him every Wednesday, 8:00. And you can find him every basketball game, by the way. 3 things you can count on at UCF basketball.
Pretty much.
One, we're probably going to lose. We're going to be down early. 2, you're going to struggle on the court late. And 3, Patrick Nurse will be on camera. Take those 3 things to the bank every basketball game. Patrick, thanks for hopping in, buddy. We will see you at a game soon.
Adam, Brian,
thanks, Patrick.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
All right, too. This is working out so far, Brian. I was concerned this wasn't going to pay off, but next up is a good friend of ours, his Matthew Turman. If you don't know Matthew, boy, are you missing out, by the way, because Matthew does a great job. He was an intern for us. He's now moved over to the Knights 24/7 crew. Still does some stuff here with the Suns. Great pictures at all the events, all the games, still a current UCF student. So he's got a great perspective on this team. Matthew, I need your record prediction, sir.
So I hate to reiterate our buddy who just came on, but I also have us at a solid 7-5 season.
Okay.
I'll break it down game wise as well. So I also have us winning the first 3 pretty easily. I think North Carolina is going to be an interesting one, of course, but we're going to follow it up with 2 losses with Kansas State and Kansas. I do think we'll win against Cincinnati. I think we'll win against West Virginia. I think when we go over to Baylor, I think that's a loss. I think for the space game, that's a W. Texas Tech loss, Oklahoma State win. And I am really torn about this. Actually, I'm going to change it to 8-4. Can I change it to 8-4?
Oh, whoa, my goodness.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Okay, you can.
So I am going to –
It's your prediction.
I am going to change this BYU game to a win because I think they really have a big question mark at quarterback in terms of who's going to lead that offense. And I really don't know what to expect out of them this season.
I don't know if you know this, Matt, but – we don't know who's going to be leading us at quarterback either.
So, okay, perfect. Thank you. So you're opening up my hot take. My hot take is we don't have a starting quarterback, and I don't think we're going to know until about week 3.
Ooh, Judge Brian Peterson.
That is not a hot take. That is a fact at this point.
Okay.
I'm going to say that's a hot take.
Again, find Matt on social media. He's part of the Knights 247 crew. Does great work for everybody on the photography side as well. And it's just an overall great guy. Matt, thanks for hopping in, buddy. We appreciate you, and we'll see you at a game soon, okay?
Of course, guys. Thanks for having me.
All right, Matt Turman is out. Next up, a guy who needs no introduction. He is the star these days of the Suns of UCF. He's Nick Williams. You see him everywhere. Every time I edit a video, I'm like, oh, there's Nick again. Oh, there's Nick again, which is awesome because Nick's doing a great job covering the Knights. He's been at every practice. He's been at every media availability. So there's nobody smarter to tell us the record of this team, Nick. So, hey, no pressure. What's your record prediction on this Knights team?
Well, thanks for the hype up there, Adam. But I'm going with a solid 6-6. Matthew, I love you, man. 8-4, a little bit of a stretch. I hope that happens. But I just got to say that I really do like all the hot takes that I could have said. I think Matthew kind of covered. I think we're going to beat West Virginia, to be honest. I think a lot of people got us losing that. It's a little overhyped. And then also, I think that since that was kind of taken from me, I took a consensus. I took some, fellow students in class, and I was like, what do you think about the new what's going to be the Space U jersey this year, right?
Okay.
People are saying it's going to be not that good. They don't think it's going to. They think last season was a little bit of a decline. Everybody
Paging
likes
Eric DeSalvo.
Somewhere
DeSalvo.
Christian just woke up from a coma.
Yeah.
We heard that.
But I don't know. Hey, he's got to prove the students wrong, so I'm excited to see.
Well,
But
I
Brian,
love you.
maybe they're a gold jersey. I don't know.
I love you taking last time to do UCF football polls. That's a great use of your credit. So is that your hot take? Space jersey this year, trash.
Yeah, that's going to be the hot take.
All right, Brian Peterson.
We're gonna go cold. The Space jersey is always elite. Always.
Space jersey never misses. Nick Williams never misses again. Doing a fantastic job covering the Knights. He'll be on our beat all season long in the football. So if you're not following, what's your social media handle, Nick?
It's Nick Williams UCF on X. Go and follow them. We'll try and provide updates. So
yeah, make sure you follow Nick. He's got you covered each and every game. Nick, you're doing a great job, buddy. Good to see you again, and I'll see you soon. Okay.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Nick. All right, Nick Williams out. All right, I can't believe we're pulling this off so far. I am shocked at the ability to do this.
Great. This is fantastic.
And if Nick is Laverne, then Andrew Cherico is Shirley.
The man himself.
He has no clue who Laverne and Shirley are, by the way, but he has also been a part of every single solitary thing that UCF football has done this offseason. So no smarter person on this as well. Andrew Cherico, we need your official record prediction.
Guys, it's a pleasure to be here, but I have some terrible news.
Oh, no.
I am not on the hopium that Matt is on, and the Knights will be going 5-7 this year.
Oh, wow. The first losing season of everybody. All right. So why are we going 5-7, Andrew? What game are we dropping?
UCF is going to go on a skid mid-season. It's going to
sounds familiar.
I've heard that.
It's going to be West Virginia and Baylor. Two crucial games. Knights are going to drop. My hot take. I have two hot takes. Wasn't sure what the idea of hot take was. I was.
Oh yeah, you know what?
Wait. Back it up a second. You have us losing homecoming? West Virginia?
Yeah.
Wow. You just heard, but you cut Brian deeply, and I don't know if
harsh.
to recover.
That's harsh.
It is. But you ready for this? The Knights bounce back. Hot take. First hot take. Take 2 in a row space game against Houston and against Texas Tech, who I expect to be the biggest disappointment in college football this season.
The Fighting Trace Trelcos.
Wow.
with their multi-million-dollar team they put together. I like it.
That is the hot take. That's the seasonal hot take. And then I was just predicting player hot take. I wasn't sure how deep I wanted to go into it.
Yeah, bring it. What do you got?
Like a good friend once said, I'm never wrong, just early.
I know
that. Fox might be listed as the tight end 2 on the depth chart to begin the season. By the end of the season, he will lead the team in receiving touchdowns.
Receiving touchdowns as a tight end.
As a tight end, he's going to be a red-zone target.
The esteemed Brian Peterson, your thoughts on these hot takes?
We're going to go with both being hot takes. I love them both.
Love them both. I love Andrew Cherico, by the way. Find him at Knights 247, doing some great work there. He's also with the Sons of UCF. Also, if you like the Orlando Magic, Andrew Cherico is also working for them as well, too. So does a great job covering everything. Andrew, you're the best, buddy. And I'm sure I will see you really soon, okay?
Yeah. Matt, we'll talk about that hopium you were taking.
You need to talk about Matt. He's right? All right, Andrew Cherico out. Next guy in. Our good friend, Clay Pasco.
Here we go.
When you see him on screen, Clay Pasco contributes to the Sons of UCF. May or may not know somebody who runs Barstool UCF. I can't confirm or deny that. Clay Pasco, I need your record prediction, sir, for the season.
You know, I've been teetering with this all day. I've been between 5-7 and 6-6. Just to not, copy my good friend Andrew, I'll go 6-6 right now. I think we make a bowl game. I think we start 2-0. We lose to North Carolina immediately, and then we lose at Kansas State, and then we come home and we lose to Kansas. Jalen Daniels, high-powered offense. And then I think the pivotal game of this season, guys, is at Cincinnati. I think that we beat Cincinnati on the road. We come back home. We play West Virginia. We beat them, and then we win the rest of our home games. All right, and we go 6-6 is what I think.
All right, Clay. I know you were workshopping a hot take. Where did we land?
Can't wait for this.
I'm kind of between two. I'll just say both of them because. Number one, all right. This has plausibility, I think. Cam Fancher will start every single game this season for the Knights.
Ooh.
Yeah. And then 2, I think we don't have not 1, but 2 games go to overtime this year. UCF has not seen a game go to overtime since 2017, the AAC championship. I think we get really close. I think we split them. I think we win one. I think we lose one.
Wow, I haven't seen Brian's face look like that since I'm new text.
Okay,
Brian, what do you got on these?
a hot take. We are not going to have 2 games go into overtime. I'll give you one. We're not having 2. That's a cold take.
Look at
The
Scott
other
Frost's
hot
track
take-
record, Brian.
Look at it.
Look at the track record.
Look at it, Brian.
No, you have to throw Nebraska out. It doesn't count.
We already threw that.
The first hot take, Cam Fancher. You know what? I'll go with that one. I think that he's the starter for now. So until proven otherwise, we got to assume that he's going to start every game.
Wow. All right. Well, Clay
Start
Pasco
every game.
does some great stuff. Find his work. He did a video that's on our YouTube channel called Almost Knights, where he researched the 1996-99 era Knights. It's fantastic work. So find Clay there. Clay will be popping down some shows for us whenever he gets some time. He's a busy man.
Yeah, my hot take is that we're going to see another episode of Up All Night anytime soon.
Wow.
Hey, coming soon. Coming soon.
You heard it here first from Clay Pasco. All right, buddy. We'll see you soon. Clay Pasco is out the door. Finally, we bring some maturity back to the stage. Dolly Drama is here.
Yeah.
All nonsense out of the way. Finally, we'll get some.
Brian punching down to the youth, man. That was like a barrage. Let's lighten the mood up here.
It's Clay. We love you, Clay.
You're an accountant, Dolly. You sit over everybody. Dolly writes for Knights 247. Also does a bunch of stuff for us here at the Suns. Good friend of the program. Just a good overall dude. Somebody who knows a lot of ball. And so, Dolly, I can't wait to figure out what you think of this 2025 Knights team. What's your record?
I think we're going 6-6. I think we definitely make a bowl game. But I think there's going to be some surprises of where we pick up the W's. I think we're going to go 2-0 to start out the year. I think we lose against North Carolina. Bill Belichick defensive game plan against a Cam Fancher, a guy that's skittish. And my hot take kind of leading into is I think we win at Kansas State. They look kind of skittish on the in that Farmageddon week 0. They just got pressure right up the middle on defense. Iowa State did, and just kind of had Avery Johnson on his heels. I think our defenses could do that. And some history too. Scott Frost was a grad assistant at Kansas State underneath Bill Snyder. So I think he has some respect for that team in this conference, but like his predecessor, head coach, I kind of looked down at this conference. So I think we get a dub there. And then I think we go on a little bit of a losing streak. Kansas at Cincinnati could be a toss-up. And then just kind of flip around. I think we go on loss, W, a W for the space game, and close it up with Oklahoma State. So I could see Kansas State on the road as a win. But then we'll lose at Kansas. So that's where I kind of flip around with the 6-6 for the year.
All right. Well, Brian's ready to judge you, Dolly. Do you have a hot take that you were ready to throw at the bearded Brian W. Peterson?
I think it's just that we win at Kansas State.
The K-State?
Yeah, I think we win at K-State.
All right, Brian, get out your abacus. What do you think?
A week ago, I would have said you're crazy. But after watching that game in Dublin, Ireland over the weekend, and more importantly, watching Avery Johnson's, was it his dad and his brother go at it?
Oh yeah,
there is blood in the water.
That's passion, man.
It's crazy. Passion. It's crazy. It's crazy. But you know what? I'll go with it.
That's passion.
I'll take the win at K-State. Hot take.
All right. Well, you've got Brian to finally agree with somebody, Dolly. So that's a plus on your side. Again, find Dolly's work on Knights 247. You can also find him sometimes around here at the Sons of UCF as well. Great follow on Twitter. Just a good Knights fan. He's on a lot of podcasts too. He does a lot of guest appearances. He's big in the Big 12, Dolly. You're a big Big 12 guy. I feel like you've really meshed well with the Big 12 crowd.
Yeah, it's a good landing spot for us, at least for now.
Dolly Drama. We will see you around, my friend.
Peace, brothers.
All right. Next up is a man who really kind of helps all this come together. Without him, I don't know what we would do. Here's our good friend, Michael Hoffman. He is a partner at Werner, Hoffman, Gregg, and Garcia, which you've heard me probably say 2,475 times at this point. But glad to have Michael Hoffman here with us, longtime Knight fan, shareholder, and a guy who loves a good cigar, as he's got in his hand right now. Michael, will you be smoking that cigar after wins this year? And if so, how many wins?
So first of all, I'd like to say it's nice to see my accountant here. And
that's not me, by the way, in case you guys were curious. I'm not the accountant.
That's good. I don't understand all this like pessimism here. Like, it's the day before the season. Yes. This is the day to be happy, to be excited, to be looking forward to something. Like, so to tell you where I'm going with this, my hot take is, I'll start with that. We will have at least one finalist for the Blishnikov Award.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
They don't get hotter than that, right? You know,
that is scorching hot. Okay.
I can't tell you who it's going to be because I couldn't name a wide receiver on the team, but we're gonna have one.
Okay.
And you know, UCF Mike's been MIA, and God knows what he's going to say. So I'm gonna take the Mike burden here and say 16-0. We're running the table.
16-0.
It's over.
All right.
I can't imagine the prize for winning this contest is worth predicting a UCF loss.
Yeah.
So we're running the table. It's going to be a great year. Let's get excited. Let's enjoy it at least until we don't. Right.
Look, that sounds like sound legal advice to me, Brian Peterson. Your thoughts on the 16-0 prediction from our good friend Michael Hoffman?
I think Mr. Hoffman's probably had a few drinks tonight if he thinks we're going
wow.
16-0.
Just my coffee.
Man.
Wow.
Cheers.
Wow. Well, I guess
I don't.
Why not? What's the harm? What's the downside? You know what? Maybe 17-0 because I could see us winning the Big 12. Or no, we would automatically. I could see us winning the Big 12 and then putting Boise State in above us because they're haters. So you never know.
It's going to get awkward come tax time for you two, but I will let you guys figure it out later. Hoffman, you're the best dude. I will catch up with you soon, buddy. Thanks for
all right, guys. Have a good one.
All right, that's all we've got tonight. Actually, wait a minute.
Breaking news.
What is? Hold on a second. Something's wrong with my screen. Oh my God! It is UCF Mike, not in the actual screen because why would he?
I think we've been hacked.
He's so rusty at these things. He has no idea what the cameras are these days. But UCF Mike got the memo. By the way, I love that, Mike, that you're wearing all white. Appreciate that out of you. UCF Mike back out of hibernation, which it feels okay. Speaking of back, his back seems like it's in pain right now. But UCF Mike is back, and we have not heard from you in a long time, my friend. So, we miss you, buddy. How are things? How are you? How's the back? How's life? What do you think of Brian Peterson, HGH Glow Up?
The back is doing much better. Thank you for asking. Peterson, I didn't recognize at all with that beard. It looks good.
The wife likes it.
I like it. I like it. Huh?
The wife likes it.
Oh, that's all that matters, really. So
yeah.
Turning her on. That's good. So how you guys been doing? I haven't seen you guys in a while. Everything's looks good from where I'm sitting.
Well, how does
Everyone's asking about you, man? Everybody wants to know where's Mike.
There's somebody in the chat actually who just asked where UCF Mike is because everyone misses UCF Mike because this is the time of year, Mike, when you look in front of the schedule and you tell me we're going to beat this team. You're not scared of this team. This team sucks. These team's coach isn't good. So I assume you've done that already. And so we're here to get your official record prediction, UCF Mike. What will UCF finish in 2025?
Yeah, Hoffman just stole my thunder, man. What the hell was that? That's my shtick, right? 12-0. But he's right. This is the time of the year where everybody starts off with a clean slate. I'm sick of this. We got to temper our expectations. Oh, it's not going to hurt as much if I don't expect anything. Let me ask you this. When you guys go to the doctor, do you expect the guy to tell you have cancer? And if he does that make you feel any better when he does? No, it doesn't. When you got married to your wife, did you go in thinking you're going to come home and find her with the milkman?
This got dark real quick.
This took a really bad turn. I don't think
So I don't go into the season thinking we're going to lose to anybody, especially not these slapdick teams from the Big 12. I'm not scared of any one of them.
Not of them.
I saw that we're supposed to be the two best teams in the conference in Ireland the other day. Neither one of them looked that great to me. 12-0, baby.
What I love, Brian, is there's like probably a handful of people who just got introduced to UCF Mike for the first time are trying to figure out what the hell is happening right now.
Who is this guy? This Sons of UCF OG.
He is an OG. He's the guy who's part of the original pod and still helps us out and does some stuff whenever he can, Mike. But you're not done because I'm putting you to work tonight. All right. We got you for 15, 20 minutes. We're going to get a little overtime tonight. And because we have the guy here, we might as well run his mailbag jingle. But
you didn't even get my hot takes. You didn't even ask for my hot takes.
He only gave his prediction. What's the hot take?
That wasn't even a hot take, the 12-0. That was standard.
That's a normal take for Mike.
What do you got?
All right. Since we are going to go 12-0, obviously, that means we're going to win a couple of these big games on the road. I'm telling you right now, UCF is going to win at least one road game against the top 25 team this year. And they're going to have a few opportunities. It could be Kansas State early. Baylor may jump into the top 25 by the time we get to see them. Maybe BYU at the end of the year. Maybe Texas Tech. One of them for sure is going down to UCF. What do you think about that, Peterson?
The law offices of Brian Peterson Incorporated. What say you?
You see, you catch me in a tough spot because I want to be optimistic and say, absolutely, that's awesome. I agree. But come on, man. I don't even have us going bowling this year.
You're a loser, bro. Here's another one. We have 3 quarterbacks this year that probably going to see some time, right? Look at their career stats. I believe they have 38 combined touchdowns and 37 combined interceptions.
Sounds about right.
I'll tell you right now, none of them are going to throw more than 5 interceptions this year. How's that for a hot take?
That's also a hot take. How can you in one breath say we're going to win on the road against a top 25 team and then follow it up by telling us that we're combined 38 and 37 touchdowns?
No, that's what they've done already in their careers. That's not what they're going to do this year. That's what they've done leading into this year. This year, I'm telling you, is none of them are going to throw more than 5 interceptions. Either one.
Is that because we're just going to hand the ball off every play?
No, it's because after they throw the 5th interception, they're not playing anymore. Then they're just going to go move on to the next guy. You got 15 total interceptions to work with.
Fair enough.
That's what Lou Holtz used to tell his quarterbacks that all the time. He goes into the season and he said, I got good news for you. You're not going to throw more than 6 interceptions all year because after you throw the 6th one, you're not playing anymore. That's what's going to happen. If Cam Fancher's in there in the first couple games and he's throwing the ball all over the place, he's not playing anymore. Next guy up.
So we're looking at this like fouls in a basketball game.
Yeah, pretty much. You got 4.
All right.
After the 5th one, you're out.
All right.
All right. Well, more to come on this. Hold on. Let me play the sound here. Hold on.
So it's a mailbag. So what?
So what? Do you know whose mailbag that is?
It's that time again. Time to open the Brian W. Peterson Sons of UCF mailbag.
Hi, fellas.
Doesn't even look like the same Brian Peterson. The Brian Peterson in that actually does not even look like the same Brian Peterson. Sitting across was Mike. This is the mailbag, buddy. I ask questions. You guys provide answers. Get this topic. I know. Dr. Snap and Pop, by the way, who we met at FanFest, actually a chiropractor. Good to know. It's game week. He wants to know, what are the takeaways from this game, good or bad, Mike? What do you think is going to be good and bad from this game? What do you expect?
Man, everybody knows that Scott Frost is an offensive genius. That's what he was known for the first time he came in. I think we're going to see some fireworks this week. Yeah, I don't think he's going to hold everything back. Everybody says, there's going to be vanilla the first week. I think he shows you a couple things. I mean, he's going to have some wrinkles to go with it as the season goes along, but I think he's going to try to light things up a little bit on the offense, get people excited again going forward in this season. And for the defense, we shouldn't give up more than 20 points to this team if we're any kind of defense that is going to do anything well this year. So I'm looking forward to a good game tomorrow.
Brian, a follow-up from Dr. Snap and Pop. Do you think the entire playbook will be open in these first 2 weeks?
I don't think he's going to open the entire playbook, but I think that Mike's right. I mean, if you think back to Frost's first tenure here, he used to go for 2-point conversions on touchdowns, and that was the first Frost, he did that. So I don't think he's going to shy away. I think Mike's right. But I don't think we're going to see the full playbook, but it's not going to be vanilla either. We're going to see what we can do with this team.
Next one up from Cap Veach 1, Mike. Scott Frost seems always fired up at press conferences. Is that how he was before? Is that how you recall Scott Frost 1.0?
Does he seem fired up? Was this a sarcastic question? Because he seems like the most monotone coach I've ever heard behind a microphone.
All right, Brian Peterson, are you fired up Scott Frost? Yes, no?
I also saw this question and had the same thought. I think he seems more relaxed now than he used to be. He's still pretty monotone. Mike's right about that. But I think he's a little more relaxed, a little more experienced behind the mic. So maybe that's the difference that we're seeing.
I'll give this one to Brian because Mike already answered it a little bit. UCF Zach wants to know, over under 1.5 interceptions thrown by Cam Fancher. I assume he means for this upcoming game. So
I assume he means for the game. I'm going to
1.5.
I'm gonna take the under.
Okay, and then over under 1.5 touchdowns thrown by Cam Fancher in this game.
I'm also going to take the under. I think we see 1 passing touchdown and maybe 1 interception.
All right, it's a long one for me to read, so I'll skip this for a second. Mike, at _all-night_, what is your must-see game in each time slot this Saturday? A big weekend of college football coming up. I know you're going to be in front of your TV. What are the big games UCF Mike's got on the ledger to watch this weekend?
I can't wait for this week. Last weekend was great. I didn't leave my couch. I had to go out for dinner for like an hour on Saturday, but other than that, I was on the couch all day Saturday, watched the entire Ireland game. This weekend, I'm pumped. I'm pumped at 5:30 tomorrow to watch little Boise beat up on the Cows a little bit before our game, and then Cincinnati after our game. Thursday night's full. There's a pretty good game Friday. I can't think of what it is. But Saturday, you got some huge games. I mean, everybody's going to watch Texas, Ohio State at 12. Then you have to watch Florida State and Alabama at 3:30, right? Because I always watch the Florida schools, Florida State, Miami, always anyway. But now it's got a little more juice with Gus there on the sidelines. Yeah, you got a little extra hate for the Florida State this year. That's going to be fun because I think Bama's going to kill them. And then you got Clemson and LSU at night. I mean, that's a hell of a slate right there. And I'm sure there's a bunch of other games mixed in you flip over to.
Brian, I see you diligently checking the schedule. Any game that's got your eye?
No, I think Mike covered them all. I mean, that Texas Ohio State game is number 1 versus number 3 in the first week. It doesn't really get much bigger than that. I definitely am going to be watching that Florida State Alabama game to see how that plays out. Obviously, Florida State's team is basically UCF 2.0 at this point with all the transfers that they had and with he who shall not be named as their offensive coordinator. So those are the 2 big ones that I'm looking for on Saturday, but there's a whole slate of good games that I'm going to be watching on Saturday. That's the best part about having a Thursday game for UCF.
That's a really good point. Mike,
you got Miami, Notre Dame Sunday.
Oh, and Miami, Notre Dame.
And then TCU, North Carolina Monday night, which we should all be interested in.
Versus conflicts, yeah.
At Knights with a 1 on Blue Sky, Mike. A lot of people talking about the wide receivers. Should we be more worried about the offensive line than wide receiver?
We don't know anything about any of these guys. Offensive line, wide receiver. You want to be worried about every position. I get it going into the season because you don't really know these guys. And the season will go how the offensive line goes. Everybody thinks the defensive line is going to be okay. We know the names there. Football is always won up front. If you can win in the trenches, then you have a good shot. So the offensive line is more important than the wide receivers. So I get the little bit of fear there going into the year.
All right, you guys can collaborate on this question from Golden Knight _2. Build a UCF coaching staff using only former players for defense. So build a defensive coaching staff using only former UCF players. Who you got? Let's start with D-line. Who you got as the D-line coach? Former UCF players.
Bruce Miller. Bruce Miller. Okay. He was a great player. Okay.
He might be busy. I don't know. He may be tied up.
Putting that aside, his history aside, great player, good defensive lineman. Give me him for D-line coach.
All right. Now with somebody who doesn't have a bad answer, Mike.
I'd love to see Bruce back. Hopefully he straightened things out. He was, like Brian said, the best defensive player we've ever had. Sometimes the best players don't make the best coaches, though. You know, sometimes you just need a guy who has to know more about the position than just rely on his talent. I don't know which guys are actually coaching nowadays. I'm trying to think, but who's a defensive player that's actually a coach today? I don't know. Adam, help me out with this one.
He doesn't have to be a coach. He just has to be a former player.
A former player. So
any former player. Elton Patterson.
Former player.
Elton Patterson. He's an agent, I think, right now. Who's coaching linebackers?
Well, everybody would say Shaquem, just for the motivation factor. I mean, the guy will get you to run through a brick wall.
I had Shaquem as my defensive coordinator. I had Terrence Plummer as my linebacker.
I like TP as that's a good call. Yeah. Josh Lynham also coaches at Liberty. Defensive backs, guys. Who's coaching defensive backs?
I like Smoking Joe. I know he was coaching in high school for a while. Smoking Joe was one of the best cornerbacks we've ever had come through here. Also can coach a little bit on special teams with the kick return, punt return. Give me Joe Burnett.
That's a good choice. I had Kamal Ishmael.
Current guy on the staff right now, Travis Fisher, by the way, could be a good one. Brian, you've already named your defensive coordinator, so I want to ask you, Mike, who's coordinating the defense, buddy? Who's the top spot?
Oh man, this is somebody you need to know, somebody who has some brains, right? And I'm trying to think of which guy on the defense who's actually pretty smart.
Great friend.
Man, that's a tough one. Let's see. I didn't see this question on the list here, so I wasn't prepared for this question. No, you didn't send me a list, but I saw the Twitter thing, and I saw a whole bunch of questions. This wasn't one of them.
Question that
defensive coordinator.
Yeah.
Defensive coordinator.
Big time. We're only live.
I don't know. I'm drawing a blank here. Give me Willie Davis. Willie D had that cat.
Had that cat.
Most people listening to this have no idea who Willie Davis is, but he was a linebacker back in our day.
Mike at @blackgold_ed. Should UCF honor Orlando legend Lee Corso at Thursday's game? He's famously, his last game will be this Saturday. A Lake Mary resident. Mike, should there be something at the game for Lee Corso on Thursday?
Yeah, I think you do a Jumbotron tribute, during one of the timeouts. You put the video of him when he was at UCF and he put on the Nitro outfit and all that stuff. Maybe a little clip of him saying these people don't give a shit, if they would play that over the big screen. But something like that, 1-2 minutes, acknowledge him. He is a legend in college football. He's the only reason really I watched College Game Day. I mean, I haven't really paid attention to it for the last 10 years, but I would put it on at least for the last 5 minutes just to see him put the mascot head on. You got to mention him at least a little bit.
All right, Brian, I doubt you're going to take an anti-Lee Corso stand, so I assume you agree with that. Next question from our good friend Mario at LonelyBee UCF. Brian, I'll start with you. Which Taylor Swift song will best describe this UCF season?
Oh, give me We're Never Getting Back Together. Goodbye, Coach Malzahn.
Wow. He who should not be named. A famous 2-time Taylor Swift concert goer, UCF. Mike, what will be the Taylor Swift song that defines this season?
I thought Brian was saying that about Scott Frost, because that one time we did say that we were never getting back together, and yet here we are. Here's tomorrow, first Frost 2. But there's another Taylor Swift song called All You Had to Do Was Stay. And all Frost had to do was stay, because if he had, this would be what, year 8 by now with him? Who knows where this program would be right now? We could have already made the playoff, building off that 17-18. He would have had that thing rolling. The roster we had in 2019 was just as good. Who knows what kind of program we would be looking at right now. So all he had to do was stay. And I wonder if he's going to wonder that himself when he's on the sideline, when he comes out of the tunnel at some point tomorrow.
Let's go to Emptiness 4, who says, you're right. I'm asking a baseball question before football. The 64 Analytics site gives UCF the 24th best incoming transfer class. Mike, what do you think this baseball team needs to do in 2026?
Baseball. We're talking about baseball. The football season starts tomorrow. I
take the question.
I love this guy, Emptiness, though. He is a diehard baseball fan. There's always a part of me that loves that about him. All baseball team has to do, get back to the tournament. Just get to the same thing I've been saying about basketball for the last 10 years. Just get to the tournament, get to the games that actually matter, where people are going to care and people are going to get excited about. Win a regional. That might be going too far, but just get back to that tournament, which we missed out on last year.
Brian, this is from our good friend at Tuller 2 Words. Who gets more Big 12 wins this season? Coach Dawkins or Coach Frost?
I mean, I think statistically you got to go with Dawkins, right? He's got more opportunities to win Big 12 games.
Noted Johnny Dawkins fan, UCF. Mike, who gets more Big 12 wins, Johnny Dawkins or Coach Frost?
I said Frost, we're going undefeated. So that's already 9 wins. Yeah. 9-0. If you want to count the conference championship game, that's 10 wins. Can Johnny win 10 games? I don't know. I have no idea who's on the basketball team this year. 0. Okay, well, I could not name one. I can name one player, Pooh, and I can't even say his whole name.
You're in luck, Mike, because Rock Solid Dennis wants to know, will we see UCF men's basketball star Pupa Warakunakro appear in more than 5 games this season?
I hope not, because that definitely means we did not win more than 10 games in conference. There's no way, unless we're just getting blown out and they're just putting him in that way. But yeah, if that kid, great kid, but if he comes in more than 5 times, we are in big trouble.
F3 Spirit Guide actively hating on the rest of us. At idiot_I4, Brian, does Debo Coleman see snaps on the football team this season?
I mean, maybe. He's not even listed on the 2 deep. He's a tight end, right? So he's not even listed on the 2 deep, I don't think. So, I mean, maybe when we're, hopefully blowing out North Carolina A&T, that maybe he gets in there. But, I mean, I don't see him doing anything meaningful.
Like, I don't know if you know the shocking news, by the way. A former basketball player at UCF is now on the football team. You may have missed that in the summer. Do you think Debo Coleman will actually get on the field and get any snaps this year?
Yeah, he'll get in at some point. There's going to be a game that gets out of hand. Whether it's these first 2 games or we're blowing somebody out late in the year or, God forbid, we're getting blown out. Frost, if this kid's been working hard all camp and he's putting in the work all season, I think Frost will reward him at some point, get him in the game. Whether he gets to touch the ball or not, I don't know. But I think he'll see the field at some point during the season.
All right, and the last one from another one from blackgold_Ed, who snuck in a second question. Mike, this is right up your alley. He gives you 5 options. What do you think UCF fans are most likely to complain about after this game? Number 1, empty seats in the cabana. Number 2, long food lines. Number 3, Terry Mahajer's song choices. Number 4, lack of scoring. Number 5, weak offensive line.
You know what it's going to be? It's not going to be none of those. It's going to be that I did not get a free hat when I went to the game yesterday. And I was there an hour early because they still haven't said exactly how many hats they're giving away. Right. And this is a big mystery. I'm very interested to see how this turns out tomorrow. They said stadium-wide giveaway. We're giving out hats.
Yeah.
When you read that, what do you think? Brian thought they were going to put them on everybody's seat. That's just ridiculous. They're never going to do 45,000 hats. No way.
Well, I knew they were going to do that, but I was just trying to suggest to them, how are you doing this? Some places will do that, but
I'm very curious to see how this works out tomorrow. They're going to have a box of hats at each entrance, right? Now, I don't know how many are going to be in each box. There could be 1,000. There could be 12. I don't know, but that's what's going to be funny because people for sure are going to go into that stadium expecting to get a hat, and they're going to come out pissed that they didn't get one. Hopefully, and I really mean this, I hope that's what people are complaining most about on Friday morning, because that means everything on the field went well. If we're complaining about something on the field, we're in trouble. If we're complaining about stupid stuff like that, then it's a good sign for the year.
Brian, what do you got? What's your item that you think will be most complained about?
I think they're going to be complaining about the food. Don't we have a new catering company? Yeah, that replacing whoever it was in the past. I bet there's going to be some kinks to work out there. They're not going to be perfect this first game. I'm going to go with the food. Everyone gets cranky when they don't get their food.
And what many are calling a direct shot at UCF Mike, they're now doing hot dog of the game. They have a new hot dog that they're unveiling. So in a direct slap in Mike's face, they now have specialty hot dogs everywhere around the stadium.
But I think they've done that. But the problem is they don't even have it on our side of the stadium at all. If I want one of these special hot dogs, I got to go all the way around to the side of the stadium where the construction is. How does that make any damn sense?
Yeah.
Put at least one stand on the east side for us Cabana folks to get a specialty hot dog.
I don't think they.
If I can buy a Buzz Balls up in the Cabana, I should be able to buy a hot dog. No, it was not good. It was not.
You're cut off.
It was a poor choice.
It was definitely a poor choice. What's not a poor choice, guys, is What's in the Box, brought to you by Alumni Hall, 4100 North LFA Trail. Find them online. Yada yada yada. All right, here we go. Here. All right. It's not as much fun as I want it to be. All right. Would you rather have an extra eye or an extra arm?
All right. The extra eye, is it in the front too, or is it in the back of my head so I have like 360 vision?
Unclear. Yeah. Now look, if you're going to get a third eye, you can put whatever the hell you want, buddy.
Ooh. You put it down by your belly button, I suppose. You go, I don't think. The extra arm, you could do a lot of extra stuff with that extra arm. Give me the extra arm. I think that would come in handy more than the extra eye.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you got to go with the arm. More utilitarian than an extra eye, right?
Of course, Brian would use the word utilitarian when talking about what's in the box question. Again, Brian.
How many more taxes can I do with a third arm? I mean, he's 2 on the keyboard and a mouse.
What about a third eye? I mean, you could do, if you had one in the back of your head, you're doing like a spreadsheet behind you, a spreadsheet in front of you.
I feel like I'd be like a fly, though. You'd be seeing too much at once. It doesn't work that way.
You could hold 3 specialty hot dogs with a third arm.
Exactly. I like it.
That's a good question, Robert.
Or 2 hot dogs and a drink.
It's a really good question. I did not want to follow up on when I heard that one.
Yeah. Where else are you going to put the eye? My first question was behind the head. Then I figured you get one a little bit lower. You don't have to look down as much if you have an eye down in the middle of your body.
No, you're not wrong. You're not wrong at all. And you're not wrong that after 271 days, guys, we have football tomorrow again, 7 p.m. ESPN Plus. The Pegasus podcast guys will be live after the game on social media stuff, so you can react with them. Christian Bailey will be there taking you right after the game. We'll have some recap shows throughout the week. Andrew's there, Trace is there, Nick Williams is there, so whole crew will be there for recaps and all that good jazz. If you see Brian Peterson walking around with or without a free hat, go over and say hello to him. You will definitely not see UCF Mike walking around anywhere because there's no chance Mike's going to this game. But at some point, maybe you will see UCF Mike walking around someplace sometime. But until then, everybody, thanks for tuning in. We appreciate you hanging there for a long time. Thanks to Coach Lonsberry for putting up with our shenanigans. Thanks to all the different people who were happy and proud and good enough to hop in and give us our record predictions. We look forward to seeing how wrong all of you are. Matthew Turman, I'm looking at you. And so everybody, have a great week. Take care of yourselves. Go Knights. Everybody win. And let's get a W.
Taven Jackson, quarterback. Thank you for watching Sons of UCF.
Too soon?
Too soon.
Wow, really?
First Frost 2.0. We couldn't come up with a better name than that.